Hello everyone and welcome back to the ESL Pro League. On to the second map between Ghost as well as Rogue. It's going to be jumping onto an Inferno, hoping for a bit of a closer affair here because Ghost, they made things look just a little bit too easy there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Rogue had about 3 or 4 good rounds, and then that was it. Ghost just completely closed it out. Wardell got the orb going. Kuster even got a double orb going. They got all the utility together. They ran their 1T side strat because that was all the rounds that they needed after they got that pistol. And yeah, that was all she wrote pretty much.
Yeah, but Inferno, it's going to be a completely different ball game coming into it, and it's like both sides are going to have something up their sleeves to try to take. I mean, nothing too in-depth, but at least a little nifty strategy here and there to really bring out a victory, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen a fair bit of Inferno, probably the map we've seen the most out of. I remember Rogue's Inferno has always been quite good, even before Cadian came into the team. It's always been pretty entertaining. We've seen a little bit of Ghost on Inferno as well. So, I mean, you don't always see these Pro League teams sort of try to pick towards the lower end of their opponent's map pool rather than just play a map that they're comfortable on and that they're feeling good on. So hopefully this should be a good map of CS as opposed to what we just saw in the last one.
I mean, I can say that the last one was pretty good in terms of everything. But maybe, Mitch, if you want to elaborate your thoughts more, you know what time it is. It's the Intel time. It is to make sure you have an Intel processor, so I can say it properly, so you can game, record, and stream without compromise. And Mitch has now got the internet. He doesn't have the power just yet, though, but eventually he will. And that's when you're going to have to follow him over on, I don't know where he's going to be streaming on, but it's fairly certain the alias is just Pilly.
Probably
Highlight.
Karas CSS is probably what I'm going to call my Twitch channel.
Yeah, no worries.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, feeling good. And then I'll just put like a black wig on and I'll be like, hey guys, Karas here.
Hi guys, Karathi, and today we're going to bring you some action. Look, let's go back into, instead of talking about our terrible streaming careers, let's talk about the real thing here, right? Because that's what we're here for. We're talking about some Counter-Strike, not to look pretty. We're not here to bang spiders at the end of the day.
True, I guess. I mean, to some extent, that's what I do in my free time usually.
So all Aussies, that's what we do.
We're here for work, so.
Exactly. We rode the Kangaroos here. What will the Betway odds say about the Kangaroos? And in this case, we have one Kangaroo and Rogue,
True.
and we have 3 Canadians.
We have 3 so generous with the odds, Kev. They're so generous. Ghost's form is like crazy at the moment.
Look, this is actually outside of maybe MIBR against E United in terms of the odds. Like, this is, I'd say, pretty reasonable. I mean, Rogue...
It's like a 1 in 4 game, in my opinion, in favor of Ghost.
Jeez, okay. I wouldn't say 1 in 4. I mean, I'd say those are probably about right.
Nah.
All right, Mitch is going to be a hater. You can just keep hating.
I'd
say that's pretty reasonable at this stage. Let's see what Rogue can bring onto the map first. We know that they're a good team. They pretty much just got countered afterwards, and they didn't really adapt. And we need to start seeing a bit of the adaptation. They've been historically known for being slow starters. We can see one game, they're not really on point so far. They've been unable to get things across the board, and it changes the next one. They really bring the caps on. You know, Ricky decides to wear the beanie again. He goes, all right, I wasn't fragging hard enough. Got to put the beanie on.
He was the only one fragging last game.
I mean, Hiko needs to bring out those fragging shoes once again. He's going to pull it back, and we're going to think it's 2015 again, and he's just going to be fragging up a multi-storm.
Pull the brim of his cap down.
Exactly. And
turn on his stream.
This is something that does happen with Rogue, is that they don't really put in that full... I mean, they don't really fully show up sometimes, and that is I guess the issue coming into this. And I mean, they are going to be trying to contend with the issue in terms of this Nana fight. Ricky's taken a lot of damage from the nades already, but Kuster, it will spot out a lot of things, and Crystal trying to rally around the edge of that smoke. That's not going to work out too well for him. And it's all down to these 2 CTs trying to rotate in through Nana. Still, he spots out one just a little bit too late. And Sick is doing a pretty good work of just trying to make sure he's trying to keep this round still in contention. Both teams going to have to back off, but Neptune not given any reprieve. Vice now knows where Subrose is going to be, but Subrose is still too sharp. 3 kills, 69 hit points.
That's all he needed.
That's all he needed. He still gets the headshot, and I was so favoring Vice in that situation as well. Looked like he was going to be in the position of getting the headshot, but Subrosa just chips away at the right time and goes to pick up another pistol. But Rogue definitely kept it competitive there, and they are forcing up into this. And this is something we don't see too often. We saw it yesterday coming out, and it worked out.
feel like Inferno's a map where it really can work for you, especially if you get plenty of smokes across the board. You just drop smokes on those choke points and oh my lord, he's taking a lot of damage. Okay. Alright. Nice.
You let go of the right click button. Unlucky.
Back to kindergarten, mate. Which one's your right click, which one's your left click?
I mean, if you press either, that was not good. So, I don't think this is a... I think Ricky looked at it and he just goes, what have I done? And he's just going to back away. It's not the end of the world.
I don't think dropping that smoke in that choke point at that point in the round anyway would have made it much of a difference.
Look, let's just call it for what it was. It was an accident from Ricky. He knows it was an accident. But...
Not judge him too harshly.
Look, he's got a sticker, do we? No.
True.
Case closed. He's got multiple stickers. Do we? No. Case closed. Out come Ghost taking this top brackets control, but there's still going to be a pistol stack. Look at this CT setup on the balcony. I realize that maybe they don't have the moral high ground, but they definitely do have the high ground at this stage, and that's always going to be advantageous. Mike's going to drop some utility. Oh no. He's gone into the lower ground. It's going to have to be some bangers and some 5-7 shots. That's the first one starting things off. Sick was able to get that tag earlier on to steal, and out come the rest of the T's. They've been unable to flush him out. Vice, he can reload so quickly, but he steps out a little bit too far. The bomb has been lost in pit. They need to make a quick move on to get the bomb plant down. They will just be able to do so. Smoke trying to cover. Crystal not going to spray down the site just yet, but the rest of the 5-7s going to try and overwhelm them around the edge of the smoke grenade. Not going to work out just for now. Kusta's been able to move to the other side, but Crystal still able to land the shot, and Sick dispatches of things with the scout. And Ghost... They actually dropped the force. They dropped against the force play of Rogue. They left a little bit too late, and you've got to say Vice did a hell of a lot of work at that pit position in the 5-7. It's been a while since we've seen a lot of 5-7s instead of CZs out, and you can see that the impact there was definitely felt.
Yeah, I mean, with the CC getting tweaked, I feel like a lot of people are going back towards the 5-7. And that's always been the strength of it over the CZ, hasn't it? You wouldn't be able to do that with the CZ. It's the multi-fragging potential. It's the ability to just keep holding down mouse 1 and repositioning and reloading your clip, a bit like a rifle, really. Except the extra mobility makes you even more annoying to deal with, and the one-shot potential with the headshots and whatnot. Either way, makes it work beautifully. Puts Ghost on the single save due to the bomb plant. And... really, with Rogue looking a little bit lackluster today, I'm happy that they were able to get a break like that, because it's going to allow for this to be a much better game than Nuke was.
Like I was saying, they sometimes do come in a little bit too cold, and they're going to fire up eventually. And for Ghost, if they push back hard, both sides are going to have to shove each other as equally as difficult. Good nade coming out, but unfortunately comes in a little bit too late. Now it's going to be Incendiary Grenade doing a chunk of damage, and Crystal picking up a bit of extra cash. Steel, though, getting that Deagle shot down. Kusta locked behind the grenades. Can't land any more with the pistol, which means that it's going to be a pretty routine cleanup. They're only going to lose a single rifle. Not even a rifle. They lose a MAC-10. That's not going to be Crystal upset. Ghost. They've got AKs now.
Alright, what's the play from Ghost? Crystal actually goes for another SMG and utility. Ricky's going to hold on to the Scout. Vice is on the FAMAS. So, arguably, Ghost have a better buy than Rogue do. Ghost is going to take their time, prodding away at second mid and apps, chilling at T-stairs, seeing if Rogue's going to go for a bit of a Nana take, which they don't. So I imagine that Ghost are just going to make their way up Nana, as well as slowly moving their way through the apartments. Wardell just scouting out this area with the orb, taking his time, along with Sub Rosa. Still a decent amount of utility left on the T's here, Kev.
He needs to take his time because he doesn't really have the armor to fight it out. Kusta, Galil in apartments. It's going to be Ghost eventually. Just going to head back over to that B bomb site instead. Kusta Not spotting out anything just yet. He's trying to find the opportunity to do so. The CT's now going to be playing this strong double pit position with the rest. With just Ricky playing that rotational play with the scout. Out comes the first Molotov to try to draw some utility away from the CT's. Crystal still going to be holding on to this incendiary grenade. That's going to be absolutely critical. Sick with a single flashbang to work with as well. You can see they've got the grenades primed on the CT side, waiting for this execute to happen, but Sick is going to come in just a little bit too early. The incendiary grenade is going to be dropped at Barbecue. Crystal can't put up enough of a fight, unfortunately, with the SMG. Ricky has to rely on the sidearm, and Kusta, he's able to at least pick up one on the lurk. He still has such a long rotation to go back around over to the B-bomb site to help defenses. He's going to make sure that mid position is secure so Ricky can swing back and focus his attention back into that CT area.
I'd like to see Hiko and Sick try to hold on to these rifles rather than go for it. Maybe Ricky can try to go for some exits with the scout, see how many kills he can get.
Oh, Steele's just come in and just nearly ruined the party. Pretty much has. He's done a lot of damage. He's pretty much forced the CTs to show their hand, and as a result he goes, well, I lost a Glil, but you lost a rifle.
I mean, it's a good round for Ghosts. They have 3 alive. They got the bomb plant down. The AWP has been retained, but conversely, over on the side of Rogue, they had 2 alive. They saved the 2 higher priority weapons and lost all the 3 weaker weaponry.
And they can still buy up in this round where Ricky's got an AWP now.
So I'd say it's pretty even still. I don't think either team really came out ahead of that exchange. If Rogue wins this round, they're going to reset the loss bonus of Ghosts, which is going to start to make things a little bit more difficult and may push them towards at least a single eco. And if Rogue's able to convincingly take the next couple of rounds, maybe not lose too many kills to pistols, they might be able to get themselves a nice little lead. And I feel like if I change... say the exact same thing, dear God, through the smoke.
Oh no, Ghosts have just picked up the pace and they've just completely
I was about to say, the same thing goes for Ghost. If they win this round very convincingly than Rogue, especially with how fecal the CT economy is and how much more expensive some of the things on their economy is, it's even worse for them if they lose this round and start to fall behind in terms of the loss bonus. And
I mean, they're gonna have to save right now, and you're gonna see Crystal just backing away. Don't know how hard the T's are going to be hunting, but that was just lightning quick coming out from Ghost. I mean, it wasn't as if it was a design strategy. They were just trying to take default control, and it just so happened that Rogue were trying to play aggressive and trying to get a few picks. Hiko drops the smoke, but Wardell, I don't know what shot that was.
It felt like dominoes.
Yep, just got pushed over. Like I was saying, both sides going to be trying to strong arm each other into submission at this stage, and still... Just realized Ghost, they actually do have a core 3 of Canadians.
Oh no. Canadians taking over.
Canadian
At some point,
Counter-Strike.
are we going to get to the point where like we could have a full Canadian team? I don't think that's ever really going to have to be a thing, right?
I think Lawyers is going to be very happy if that's a thing. So our counterparts over there in NA would be over the moon.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'll send them, I don't know, something that you can
Now
get in
I'm
Australia.
starting to feel like I need to craft. I'm way too cooked to do it right now, but it'd be cool to craft a whole Canadian team that could actually be top 5 or top 10.
Sorry, you said you were too cool for what?
Too cooked.
Ah,
Brain not work.
understandable. Have a nice day. They still do have the single AWP up on Ricky, thanks to both of the CTs having the double AWP in the previous round. And Ricky just gets that pick up pretty quickly.
I thought Subrosa was just going to sneakily crouch under his scope, but he jumps up through the edge of the smoke, and Ricky is able to see him. Picks him as well. Goes in the 4-on-5. We're going to try and resolve it quickly with some bracket control and maybe a hit towards that A-bomb site. Steal with the pick onto Crystal. Don't feel like peeking bracket at that point in the round is really going to be the best thing in the world. I don't know about you, Kev.
Oh, definitely didn't work out for them. They've got the numbers over the A-bomb site, though. But a lot of time for Ghost to still work with. Wardell going to be trained on Diggity to make sure there's going to be no hyper-aggression coming in from the CT side. But out comes the T-push at the moment. And Vice, he can't get that M4 spray working for him. Hiko staying hidden at the haystack. Ricky, one and traded, but they don't know Hiko's still here. Until Steel just picks him up through the edge of the smoke, realizes there's a little bit of collision that's happening that shouldn't be occurring. And now Sick just going to be dropping a bit of nades, and he's just going to fall back. It is hard being that rotator,
He's
having
been
to
saving
save
every round, huh?
no choice, though. You can't really go in and just die. That is a needless death, so to say. There are sometimes you got to go in and try something. Other times you're just going to have to back out. And as harsh as it is, you're going to have to back out and just live to fight another day. If you can.
Him.
You can see the T's. They're going to be hunting actively. No, it's going to be on the B bomb side, but are they going to be checking new boxes? The real question. Six still putting in some good work, trying to do the damage for now. Spots out the head of Kusta. Kusta just going to back away. Not going to try and lose the AWP for now.
Most firmly in control of the economy and the round count on this T side. Rogue making some impressive moves in certain parts of the map and in certain regards, but overall Ghost has been the much more solid team in every regard, it seems.
Nate stack coming out from Ricky as well as he go into, I don't know just yet where it's going to be. Look at the confidence on Wardell, just leading the charge with the AWP. Is that a Zeus from Vice? I'm loving this at the moment. As soon as anyone walks here, they're dead. There's a nade coming in and pushing them out, but Wardell, he's just too sharp.
The molly onto the balcony, Kev.
Wardell still looking for more. He's going to have to...
Pops it incendiary to the forehead.
He just puts it out though, but now sick with the M4, but doesn't matter, it's Rogue. They look like they're doing the right things to try to get the trades back, to bring it back in their favor. But the members of Ghost are just ready to trade each other out when these circumstances happen. And now just going to be pressuring this B bomb site. Crystal, nowhere near the action. He's already just backed away into CT spawn, and you can't do anything with the P250 at that range, not anymore. And Wardell just picking people up and just falling away. They're going to retrieve a rifle at the very least, and the M4 as well as the AK, but how much is that really going to mean right now is going to be the real question coming into the next round.
I'd say fairly little.
I mean, they're going to have to step up in terms of the fragging potential and the crossfires that are being set up, because so far Ghosts have just been too good in the entries, too good in trading each other out.
I don't think it's been the fragging potential. I feel like it's been the positioning of certain key players. Ghost, it feels like Rogue, they're getting a lot of picks. Their aim's working out decently for them. They're getting some kills here and there, but you can't just have people getting picked out in the open. Like in that previous gun round where, you know, just one example of people getting picked, you know, Crystal gets picked up on the arch in the 5-on-4, and then, you know...
It was a 4-on-4. It was a... Oh, wait.
No, it was a 5-on-4. Yeah. And those are the kind of key picks that when Ghosts get them, they are so good at capitalizing and closing the round out from that point. Once you get your advantage on Rogue, you really want to force Ghosts to work for that round win. And they can still bring back the 4-on-5, especially on a map like Inferno where you lose a player, you can just go contact into B and you can still win the round, even with three alive. You can just take that 3-on-3, and if the duels go your way, the duels go your way, you still win. Apps control taken by Ghosts. They haven't been able to take Nana just yet because the utility's been expended by Ghosts, and once again, Crystal caught out.
Yeah, Sub-Rose are just casually one-tapping away. And he's also doing a little bit more damage to Sick as well. Vice has to drop that grenade into Boiler, but it might have come in a little bit too late. He's been blinded out, and once again, Ghost just in a force to be reckoned with. They just come straight forward, looking for blood. And they're just going to back away. They know they've got so much time. Kusta also ready on the lurk as well to try to take down this jungle player. Ricky, he's going to gain this position, but Sick needs to wind so many up. Manages to find the timing, the push, to try to bring it back in Rogue's favor. Kusa going to just dance around the edge of the smoke grenade as Sick single-handedly, he's just blasting away at heads and bringing it back for Rogue. Hiko can't spot out the head of Kusa just yet, but what a turnaround this is for Rogue. What a turnaround. That's exactly what they needed. Doesn't matter if it's just one individual stepping up. That's the go signal.
Yeah, but how consistently can you win rounds like that? So it's going to be pretty rare.
Just going to have to bring your best cello performance coming out, and Sick definitely on that B site.
Very reminiscent. Double AWP now for Rogue. Yeah, it goes. See how many of these AWPers Wardell's going to kill, trying to pick people.
I mean, they spotted out the gun barrel, and as soon as they spot out the gun barrel, Sick knows what's going on.
Alright, so now we really need to not overextend in the 4-on-5. You need to get the crossfires going, you need to drop the utilities in the appropriate manners. They molly out Olaf, they smoke down bottom, they know no one's in Nana. Crystal needs to make his way very quickly back to the A bomb site before this A hit comes in. From there, it can be done. Vice and Hiko have the utility. Molly gets dropped as soon as this exit comes in. Vice is playing Dirty Secret.
Yep, and Vice is just able to at least get one, but Hiko misses the spray and he's going to be blinded out. Still putting away the damage, and eventually, how does that still work out for Ghost? They managed to make that 4-on-5 work out, or 4-on-4 on the site. This nade at the very least, denying a little bit of the money. And Sick now also thinking about coming in and trying to get a little bit more damage down with the AWP if anyone is going to be a little bit over-eager. He's actually thinking about going in, smoke, covering off the pit position. Kusta just going to be transitioning away into Graveyard, but Sick might have heard the jumps. Can't land the hit, though. That means nothing's going to be saved forward for Rogue. Going to have to buy a few pistols here, and for Ghost. Once again, another unfavorable circumstance that's turned in their favor.
Yep, their mid-round executes, and their ability to convert 4-on-5s is just impeccable. The way that they use their utility to clear out so many different positions. The flashbangs are just catching so many of the players on Rogue so that Ghost can be able to get onto the bomb site and create really, really favorable duels. So it might be a 5-on-4, but there's still a max of 3 people on the bomb site, and when they're all getting flashed and mollied out of position, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Kuz is going to be looking at the smoke and going, thinking, what's going on over there? Is going to be a top bracket stack, and Rogue have not really invested too much in this round. They had a little bit of cash to get pistols on the other members, but they decided not to risk it. No one on the B bomb site. All 5 over here, ready to swarm into top brackets. Crystal going to be the first player, but Steel's been patient enough, and he's going to be rewarded with the double. Dancing back and forth, Hiko. 2 of them waiting at the diggity position in case anyone swings forward. But Neptune, he's got the Mac 10. He wants to be able to pick up these, and that's going to be quite a bit of cash in his back pocket. Vice, up to his usual shenanigans over at Apartments once again with the Zeus, but this time, no one is going to be committing from that position. And the rest of Ghosts are just going to be slowly backing away as they go to the B bomb site instead. Another clean round coming in from Ghosts. That's going to help in terms of their money situation. Things have still been close, though. Ghosts have not been able to build up the biggest bank.
Oh, we were waiting for it.
We were waiting for that.
Remember when Ricky was spamming the Zeus a while ago? Whatever happened to that, man? You've changed, Ricky.
Feels bad. Just want the... I
want the old Ricky back.
I want the 40 bombing Ricky. It's like, Ricky, he's only getting 1.3 rating. Not good enough. I want the 1.75 rating Ricky back. I
feel like Ricky is one of those players that even when he does frag, his team still struggles to win the game. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember when every time Ricky drops a 30, it's like a 16-12 win? It's never like a 16-3. It's like, oh, Ricky's fragging, but we still can't win.
I mean, this is just also down to the fact that Rogue, I mean, for Ghost, should I say, that the entries have just looked absolutely impeccable. Look at that, flashbangs. None of them are blinded by any team. Flashbangs, they're all just busting out through the smoke. What do you do as Crystal? You just shake your head and just keel over, I guess. The Rifles have to be pushing in and trying to pull up a heroic effort, but still it's still a 3-for-3 trade at the end of the day. Rogue are isolated away from each other. They're going to require some good picks to get themselves in some good circumstances to try to bring this round back.
Still go either way, and that's usually the way you'll see strats go like that. I mean, if you're going to start running through smokes, the CTs can be able to get some picks and you can trade them back, but you're always going to end up in one of these scrappy rounds. It's never going to be a clean one, you know what I mean? So we have ended ourselves up into a 2-on-2, and usually you'd expect someone like Hiko to be able to thrive in this kind of a situation when it gets a bit messy, it gets a bit scrappy, and you need to put yourself in the right position to be able to get a pick.
But Still's already clearing out these pit positions, and he's going to put himself in a favourable circumstance on this retake. It really comes down to Ricky getting this opening pick. There's no kit for the CTs to use, so eventually they're going to have to make a bit of a move on flashbangs onto the site. Ricky, he comes and switches out into the sidearm just at the wrong time. Another flashbang to try to nullify Hiko coming into the site from this mini pit area. And once again, it just has to be a save coming in from the CT position. Wardell, don't know what he's doing there, mate. He's going to have to, instead of dropping his weapons, go save inside the pit area. Well, it'll be a pretty easy save, considering that the bomb explosion is planted away from pit. So Ghost now starting to get a real lead working on their T side, and Rogue, oh boy, it's looking very reminiscent of that nuke match. Sick really the only one fragging so far on Rogue. But he's over on the B bomb site. He's not the A bomb site player.
Lots of smokes out on the side of Rogue. They're going to have to take yet another save for what feels like the 15th time in this game. Like you said, Ghosts have built up their economy. Their money's absolutely thriving. I was really hoping that this one was going to be a bit tighter of a contest here, Kev, but Ghosts are just a bit too good at the moment, aren't they? The trading's just too good. They're all on the same page. They're running the strats down to a T. Molotov and flash placement is just so on point. First pick going the way. Once again, Crystal getting picked. It is a save this time, so
yeah,
not too much of a deal.
Every single time, it's just pick after pick at this stage, and even Ricky is going to be trying to chance it, and Neptune doesn't come out on top, but there's still going to be someone ready to trade him out. No, it isn't. It's Steele. He misses the shots.
This is where I feel it's going, Kevin. It's basically the case of, oh, we got first pick, I guess we win the round really easily. Or it's, oh, we lost first pick, I guess we just throw the execute and win now. And that's pretty much the tale of this game.
Rogue need to start changing the tale, though. They can't just be relying on Ghost dictating the paces. They need to start throwing something in here. And what would you recommend on the CT side at this stage? And don't say just keel over and die. I don't want to hear about your team strategies. I want to hear about solid team strategies.
How do you beat this?
All right, so you've got the added influence of, all right, you're seeing what Ghost is doing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think because it's so hard. I feel like they really need to... They're decent at getting those first picks. They need to really, you know, work on their strength, which is getting the picks in the rounds towards Nana or mid. But then from that point in the round, obviously the 4-on-5s coming out from Ghost are either the contact plays or the executes. So you need to just kind of recognize how you're losing this game. You need to work to the double AWP. I mean, you can find a lot of success getting kills like that in the early parts of the round, and then from there you need to really work on the fact that you know what kind of an execute or what kind of a contact play Ghost is probably going to try to throw at you to bring the round back from that point, and you really need to hedge your bets against that. And if that's not what Ghost does at this point, then you know, what can you really do? This is too good.
I think we can agree on that one at this stage. Ghosts are just a little bit too good. Double AWP does come out on the side of Rogue. This time around, Crystal's the one with the AWP. But they're already pretty far back at Nana, not having the utility to contest. They're just going to be looking to play it safe. Ghosts also taking a lot of their time as well, just to make sure they don't fall into any traps. I think they realize that there is going to be a double AWP setup that's happening on the side of the CTs. And Ricky, there it is. Striking once again, getting the first pick.
You see the bomb already making its way up towards bracket. Crystal gets another pick. So they just... See, this is the problem, man. Like, why is Vice just fighting up jungle there? Now Ricky's going to try to look to trade that. He might get picked. Then you're looking at a 3-on-3 instead of what would have been a 5-on-3. This is the problem for Rogue. They have no problem getting the early advantages, but you can't be just caught out in the open. This isn't even a good situation for Rogue anymore. Ricky's trapped on the nifty box in sight. They're surrounded. The Moto Smoke comes out. He goes in pit. This is still an extremely winnable round from Ghost on what was a 5-on-3.
Really depends on how well the entries go right now. And Wardell, he's the one that's making first contact onto the site. Hasn't spotted out Ricky just yet. He's clearing it though, and Ricky, he's just not responding in time. And once again, Ghost, they just come in, and people just die as soon as Ghost come. How does this happen once again? Rogue, they're on a
Just
3.
someone getting picked on bracket in the mid round, someone overextending when they don't. It's not that they don't need to. It's not that it's the worst thing in the world. It's just that Ghost is so good at being like, okay, we're down a man, now we need to make a play to get back into it, and this is probably how we can do it. Like, you'll look at a team like FaZe, who, when they get that man advantage, they'll still be individually fighting or whatever, but they're sharp enough to be able to get the frags, and they're sharp enough to be able to put themselves in positions where, like, you know, even if they are theoretically not necessarily making the proper play or whatever, they're able to make it work most of the time. And even then, sometimes they get picked.
But as soon as you say that, I remember this round in Inferno, right? This is all the way back in January this year. Or February. Can't really remember now. And there was this dude called Tarek, right? And we saw FaZe just trying to make individual plays against a single dude called Tarek who aces in overtime. And that's what happens. And you do get picked apart sometimes, even if you're in a favorable situation. And for Rogue now, I still have the double AWP. They've got enough money to buy up into this.
Nades being exchanged back and forth, not doing a whole lot of damage to anyone, really. Rogue gonna try and go back once again to try and get the picks with the double AWP. Bordel gets walled by Crystal. So damage exchange back and forth, but no one going down just yet. Still plenty of utility out from Ghost. It's going to try to be the retake in.
Oh, still, he doesn't really care if there's going to be anything. Crystal, he's now stuck, and he's going to have to walk straight into the gunfire. And you can see that Kusta, he's, like, even if he goes down to a play from Vice, he still gets the 1-for-1 because there's a Molotov there. And it's going to have to be another save coming out from Rogue. And this is the most painful part, because Rogue know they pretty much have to save. You can't really just breach in and hope that you can go against Ghost at this stage. And it's hard to go, all right, we have to save again. Because you're down 11-3 after this round. Into the final round of the CT half, it really has just been, once again, Ghost looking the goods. And
so Rogue has 3 rounds, right? Imagine, how many rounds did they get first pick in? Like 3
or 4.
Maybe 4, right? Imagine they close those. You're looking at a much closer half. Still, Ghost is in a good position, but you're looking at a much closer half. All I'm saying is, if my boy Cadian was here, he'd be yelling at these fools. 100%.
Well, I don't know about yelling at fools or not, but, I mean, this is just not working out for Rogue at this stage. And Ghost, I mean, they've just come up once again, looking the goods right now in the Pro League, and there is just no stopping these boys. I mean, who are the original players on B's Money Crew? Was it Wardell and Neptune?
Yeah, I think so.
And do you remember that Wardell could have been on Rogue?
Yeah. I mean, he was.
For a little bit.
Technically.
Final round of the half, already just fast, top brackets control, gained by the T's. I don't even notice when they gained it. Neptune, he's been blinded by his own teammates' flashbang. But Ricky, what are you doing? You can't scope in like that and expect to not get punished. Sick though. He's been the difference so far, but he even can't get the spray down. Now Vice decides it's his time to AWP. And this might be the first promising round for Rogue. Vice has decided to finally come into the action. He's got a full belt of utility. Doesn't need to use that. He realizes he needs to bring out the rifle. The best opportunity so far for Rogue to take one, and that's really just on the back of some of the players stepping up and maybe a little bit too loose coming out from some of the players on Ghost as well.
You just see it all the time though, Kev. Like, when you're up like 11-3 or 10 to... or 12-2 or whatever, it's always that last round that gets a bit silly and the T's lose or whatever. The team that's ahead, you know, they always just overextend. It always gets a bit silly and gets thrown away. Not surprised, really. But, yeah, it's just, it feels bad. You can see the talent's still there on a lot of these Rogue players. They're able to open up the rounds. They're able to multi-frag and make the impact plays. But Ghost's just on another level right now, it feels like.
20 seconds left, and Subrose is not making it easy for himself to put himself in a favorable situation. He's going to run over to the B bomb site, but I don't know if he's got time.
Yeah, he's probably just going to run out by Crystal. The only thing Crystal can do to lose this round is to get himself picked before Subrose crosses the site, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Crystal is just going to wait for the bomb plant, and he's just going to come forward and boop boop. So Rogue do manage to at least pick up the 4th round on the CT side, but I feel like we said that on Nuke as well. They managed to pick up a 4th one. exact identical halftime scores. And I feel like it's gone the exact same way.
Yep. 100% agree.
Good start from Rogue early on, but just not enough in the tank really to get things across.
Yeah, and if they can't close out man advantages and make the plays that they need to make, I suppose, to be able to close out rounds consistently, then the T side's not going to go much better for them, Kev.
I have to wait and see. All it requires sometimes is just one individual coming forward and just fragging it up big. But if Ghost are able to take another pistol, then you have to say you're not feeling too good for Rogue's chances coming into this matchup. Subrose is going to hear a lot of this noise coming in from Diggity's side. He's going to be able to give that, I guess, attention away, and still, they're just contained in Diggity so far. They managed to explode in the jungle side, and Wardell trying to exit, not allowed to. Neptune going to drop down and continue the fight, but finally, something for Rogue to work with. Kusta's been dinked down. He's quite low, has the kit to work with. Both of these CTs are unarmored.
Yep. And they have the kit on Kusta. Still got a smoke, so I feel like the main thing is they need to pick up Ricky on the site, and if they can do that, then they can smoke off Hiko and try to get the bomb defused. But I don't know how likely that will be. Not the worst thing in the world for Steel to just hold on to this smoke and flash. I feel like he's throwing some kind of set smoke here, though.
He's smoking off into pit, but Hiko just picks off the low HP member in Kusta. And now a lot of noise being made by Steel. He's trying to take the duel against Hiko, but in the end, Ricky is just going to chime in. Rogue finally managed to take a pistol, and that's a much-needed pistol coming into their T side. Don't know if Ghosts want to force into this, or if they just want to eco themselves so they get a pretty solid buy in the next one. It's going to be a triple. Oh my goodness, it is going to not be just an artillery strike, but as well, there's a Hornet strike coming out from Ghosts if they're able to land these grenades. Every single one of them has an HE.
Yep. All you got to do is not put your feet on the T steps. That's all you got to do.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Just got ran out and they just all died at the end.
It's a lot of money for Crystal and Sick there. It's going to be a buy-up, but Steel doesn't have the best of money. Neither do most of the players on Ghost. And a good way to get back into this would to be winning this round with 3 MAC-10s and on your person.
I mean, just look at this buy coming out. You don't normally see this coming out from the CT side in the third round.
Give me a word to describe this buy here, Kevin.
Look, it's not looking the greatest so far, but they can make it work.
I'm going to go gross.
Bleh. It's worked out because Wardell's just Wardell hasn't had enough of hunting kangaroos just yet, and this time he's playing it on hard mode. He decides to just tag Ricky in the head through something. I don't even know what. And the moves that they're making at this stage on the side of Rogue are just not working out.
Wonder why.
Oh my goodness.
They're all just kind of peeking one by one, Kev. Like, I don't know really what they're expecting to get away with. I mean, I know they had MAC-10s in this round, but come on, boys. Ghost is kind of smacking you around a little bit at this point. You kind of need to go and do something together. Get a cohesive game plan together. I understand you just lost your in-game leader, but, you know, you can't just go running all over the map like a bunch of hooligans after Wardell gets the first pick, because I can imagine that that's going to happen a fair amount this game going forward. And
that's just with a scout.
Here's what they need to do, Kev. They just need to cosplay Ghost. They lose the first pick, they need to just go into the bomb site together. You know what, Kevin? Let's just cosplay Astralis. Just best team in the world, 16-0 them from here, too easy.
But we saw that happen for Rogue where, okay, sure, let's just take a look and say that they're going to be using Astralis strategies. It's down to the adaptations once again. These strategies, you've talked about it before, is that they're highly tailored at a high level to counter certain things. And what is that chicken doing?
You can copy. I've seen that so many times, actually. That spot in particular, the chicken's always small in there. Valve, please fix. But yeah, it's the same thing, man. Like, you can copy paste all you like. It's you know, you can just copy paste a bunch of stuff into your essay, but if you don't understand what you're talking about, and you use it in the wrong context, it's really not going to make much sense, is it? It's not really going to work for you.
I mean, Crystal's not gone for a flashbang or an HE, so this might... Is this... That doesn't make too much sense to me. Is there a rationale on why you only get a smoke and a Molotov and not flashbangs? Entry?
Yeah, maybe you're the entry player. Maybe you want to be saving $2,000 if you're not feeling confident about taking this round out. Don't know.
That's finally
Maybe
a bit
you
of a...
don't need the utility for this specific plan that you have in mind, and the fact that they're all walking out apartments as a team would probably indicate the fact that they've got something particular in mind.
Oh, that's good to see. And they've also got the first opening pick into that Nana area as well. But, okay. They just left the B site completely open. And they're just committing on the A bomb site at the moment. Wardell is going to be blinded off just briefly. But he's still got so many opportunities to get kills. Trying to dance around. Vice, where are you looking at? You got to be looking at Wardell. Come on. He cannot be slaying you from Graveyard. What is this? He's in Graveyard, but he's not the one going into the grave. He's the Undertaker.
Yeah, well, that's why he's playing there, Kev.
Oh my goodness.
The mortician.
Oh.
Racking up the bodies.
Well, I can say that we've examined the cause of death of Rogue there. It's just one Wardell.
Death by gamer.
And that doesn't really fill me with hope coming into the rest of this half. They have to, I mean, that's just not easy to be coming back from.
Look, at least they tried to go together and, you know, trade out and do the proper thing. Unfortunately, you know, Wardell's on the other team.
Genetically enhanced gamer. Can't really argue against that. They're going to try and wrap around jungle side. Steel is going to be not checked. Come on, lads. This is 2018. Good spray down for Steel, but no one checking that cubby position. I don't know how to feel about that, but I feel like there should be at least one person checking that cubby position. Please tell me I'm not wrong.
Look, you know, it's been a long one. Sort of. I don't know what to tell you, Kevin. I really don't. It just sucks. Like, you know, Rogue can do some nice things. They have some good individual players, but the fact is that they're just not playing up to the standard that Ghost is at the moment. And they made a good effort in that last round to try to go together and go for their little apps play and stuff. And they even got that first pick punishing the guy coming down Nana, but you know, you could still get 4K'd at the end of the day. They're going to go for it again. And the theory is, I suppose, going to be okay. But already 4 on this bomb site. They've conceded the banana control. They're just going to try and brawl out. And this might already be the adaptation from Ghost. I mean, someone could pop flash into the apartments. I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes, I suppose.
I mean, even if they take this diggity position, out comes the first smoke grenade, and Steel's going to still be here. Sub-Rose is going to be tapping away. They know where he is, so this time around, nothing that he can do. But Steel is on the opposite side. Wardell missing a shot, but Neptune as well as Steel can definitely make this work around.
This is much better from Rogue. And the big difference maker is the fact that they don't lose too many picks to Wardell. It was a much cleaner trade this time, but it doesn't mean that they can necessarily still win this round. Vice on the late flank does a lot of work. But yeah, well-constructed round there from Rogue. Much better trading coming in this time, but I mean, hate to be the negative Nancy. How many times more is that going to work? How many more strats have Rogue got to go on to? Ghosts have got such a round buffer at this point that they have so much room to adapt and change their game plan to be able to beat whatever Rogue throws at them. And at the moment, Rogue isn't claiming these rounds cleanly enough, which is going to mean that they do lose a round, their economy is going to be broke pretty quickly. they're going to have to try to go for some kind of an SMG pistol force buy. They're going up against a double AWP in this round. It's going to be difficult enough.
Look at that angle coming in from Kusa. That's just disgusting. It's going to eventually be mollied off, though. Has to give it up as Rogue do well to take this top 9 of control without losing anyone.
Kusa just goes very aggressive. The trade goes back. Should favour Rogue, in theory. We'll see whether Subrosa or Steel are going to find a pick earlier into this round. Yep, there's the mid-round for Steel. He's going to get traded out, though, by 6, so not too bad. But then Subrosa pushes Wardell from the graveyard again. Why is he graveyard, though? Every round. Can't question it, can you? This is too good.
Ricky might be able to find a timing, though, through the edge of the smoke grenade to jump down. He's going to have to make a couple of risky plays. He's got the chicken to help mask away. And there's the first pick that he needs. A little bit of opportunity to work with. He knows that Subrosa was somewhere around the apartments area. He's got a smoke grenade in front of him to use as well. A lot of utility to be picking up and trying to play around this site. A kit on Neptune, but he's only got the SMG. Ricky going to entrench himself right now in that strong pit position. Both the CTs coming in from the same angle. Definitely doable now for Ricky. As the smoke is fading, Subrosa is going to be dropping that Molotov into pit. But Ricky dropping a flashbang as well as a smoke to make sure that he can just try to play around the angle as well. He can definitely dance around for days, but he misses the snapshot. Uncharacteristic from Ricky, but that is a sharp shot coming in from Neptune to secure them that round.
Picks up the ump again instead of grabbing the AK. Oops.
Like, that's cool. Neptune's probably going, wow, I didn't realize my arm could stretch out through a separate dimension to pick up that UMP when the AK is at my feet, but that's cool. Regardless of what it is, Ghost still have match points, and Rogue, they can buy into this. It's you said a gross buy earlier on from Ghost. It managed to work out. This is definitely have to work out for Rogue, otherwise that's it. It's going to be 0-2 in the series.
Yeah, speaking of gross buys, Rogue have got pistols, an ump, and 1 AK. Decent utility, which is something, I suppose. At least they're looking a little bit better in terms of cohesion. They're trying to trade out and make their way into the late round. But individually, Ghost is playing better in that regard as well. There just really isn't any advantages for Rogue, unfortunately, at this point. Maybe the fact that they're able to find some picks earlier in some of these rounds is probably the only thing that they have going for them over Ghost. And unfortunately, that's not really been enough to get them through this series in either of the maps. You can still see the promises there, though, so at least that's nice, I suppose.
Subrosa gets blinded off the angle, and that's a good entry from Sick. That's exactly what they needed. Kusa, though, has utility to drop. And Crystal, the first through the smoke. Trades coming out fast. Much better pacing from Rogue, as they're able to get a few entries and at least spread the CTs thin. Now Steel trying to play around the edge of the smoke. He goes also going to be there, but Steel's going to come out on top just once. Now the incendiary grenade going to be dropped. Steel, how has he stayed alive for so long? He might be able to turn this back around for the CTs. He needs to reload eventually. It's going to drop a little bit of extra utility just to keep the T's at bay and away. Vice has to rely on the sidearm. Steel, how's he done this? Steel just comes out from that position and just mops the floor clean. All I can say right now is Canada #1 as Ghost Gaming are still undefeated in Pro League.
Jeez. That's all I have to say.
I mean, what do you say about that one? It's
some of those rounds looked competitive for Rogue. They definitely did all right to sort of trade out some of those T-side strategies where they're just going towards the apartments. They made some good moves where, I don't know, like Sick went for that peek and dig, and then they quickly went around to Nana and traded out and just really played off the rotations. But it wasn't like, man, what's the word I'm looking for, Kev? Like, Ghost just looks so much smoother. They look so much more intuitive and in tune with the game, whereas it looked like an effort for Rogue. It looked like they were really trying to go together. They were really trying to play the rotations around the map. They had to try a lot harder and take a lot more thought into trying to bring that game back, whereas Ghost just did it instinctually.
All right, this is called using a dictionary, right? It looked clunky for Rogue.
Yeah.
It was smooth and refined for Ghost.
Yeah.
There you are.
It looked like they had to thonk about it too much.
I had to sum up your entire say in 2 words.
Okay.
Yeah. Gotta be using succinct words there, Pilly.
Yeah.
Gonna
Coming
have
from
to.
the guy who's like, I feel like my English vocabulary is just constantly deteriorating.
I mean, which is a bit
Meanwhile.
surprising.
Yeah.
Come on, pick up a dictionary sometimes. A thesaurus.
It's too heavy, mate. I don't even lift.
I mean, you can't carry your team, so understandable. But at the end of the day, Ghost, I mean, it was a dominant T-side half. It just felt like they were in complete control. They were just dictating the pace. And at least with Rogue on the T-side, they were able to get a few rounds, keep it interesting. But just once again, the firepower coming out from the CT side from Ghost was just too strong.
Look, it's just sad because I feel like Rogue were finally starting to make strides in the right direction, and I feel like with KD leaving, it's like being reset back to zero. All the players have definitely now played to a better level, and their talent levels and consistency is starting to improve. You can still see Six able to frag, Vice is able to make some impact plays, Ricky's still able to frag very, very consistently. Hiko's just playing his role, he's doing his best. Crystal's obviously, I don't know what the situation is, I'm assuming some kind of a stand-in factor or whatever. So the pieces are still there, but it just feels like they've gone back to square one after coming back from the major, and you know, feels bad, man. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to see more from them. I'm looking forward to whatever their next move is, and fingers crossed that they're able to keep it together. Because if they take too long, we've seen it time and time again. We saw it with like the way Liquid used to be with their old roster and stuff like that. If you wait too long to make your big power moves, like Cloud9 as well, then things are going to start to go downhill. It's going to take even longer to get back up to where you were before.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty harsh so far for this Rogue lineup, but maybe they can go into ECA Pugs and maybe just, I don't know, just stomp some kids.
Yeah,
I think that probably
that
would
makes
make
us
them
all
happy.
feel better, right?
I mean,
that's like a quick fix though, Kevin. That's a quick fix, you know. You stomp some kids, you feel better about yourself, but then later on you're lying in bed, you're just looking at the ceiling like, what am I doing, man? I want to win Pro League.
A little bit of euphoria at the moment, and then they have to go back and fix the structural problems. Like, blow off some steam by just pugging it out, just switch off the brain for a little bit, and just go back, enjoy the game for a little bit, and then think about what you need to be fixing. Because like you're saying, it's a couple of, I would say, fundamental problems that needs to be worked on. This requires time, and unfortunately it doesn't come quick.
It's nice because they've got a lot of the intangibles. They've got a lot of the pieces that someone could come in and work with and really start to use to, you know, tool their way to success, I suppose. But they just don't have the glue. They don't have the in-between factors that are something that takes time to build up, I feel.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see how this work in progress goes for Rogue in the latter weeks. But for now, we are going for a bit of a short break, and by short, I mean by a pretty lengthy break, because the match we're waiting for is going to be United up against Liquid. But Liquid are still facing off against Renegades over there on the A stream, so make sure you quickly go tune in and check that out. We'll be back as soon as that finishes with the second match. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.